After all the junk they put us through and the disappointment of recent books like Spelljammer, somehow WotC has still managed to blow my mind with their next adventure. Hey there, adventurers. My name is Judd. Welcome back to Short Rest Studios. This week we're talking about the next Dungeons & Dragons book, Phandelver and Below, The Shattered Obelisk. The book's slated to come out on September 19th, 2023. It's got a $60 price tag, and let's go ahead and lump that in with all the other stuff that WotC has put us through. That's part of their strategy of bundling their physical books with D&D Beyond digital copies and upping the price. Now, a couple of years ago, this might have excited me, but given the direction that things have been moving and all the other stuff we've gone through with WotC over the last year, I really think this is just another sign that they're moving straight into digital and they're leaving behind physical D&D altogether. I agree with Professor Dungeon Master over on Dungeon Craft. But this book, Phandelver and Below, The Shattered Obelisk, is actually a remaster and expansion of the classic Lost Mine of Phandelver adventure from the 2014 D&D starter set. People love this adventure. My party played it. They loved it. And what Wizards has decided to do with Phandelver and Below is expand that. Not only does it include LMOP, but it expands on that adventure. So is this really something to get excited about? Is this just a rehash of something we've already seen? Let me tell you why this book is blowing my mind before it even comes out. First off, like I said before, Phandelver and Below builds on the Lost Mine of Phandelver. It actually includes the original quests from that adventure, plus 140 pages of new material. Now, LMOP is a classic D&D adventure. It's a great dungeon crawl. It's got a perfect balance of roleplay, exploration, and combat, and there are lots of opportunities for players to get into some sticky situations.
That's a sticky one. Sticky.
Now, this book, Phandelver and Below, is a level 1 through 12 hardcover campaign length adventure, and it still gives new players and new DMs the opportunity to get into their first D&D adventure, which it takes, of course, from its original source material. According to Wizards, the original LMOP adventure kind of unfolds the way that it originally did, but then it expands into something new with a lot of classic D&D themes, but also a tinge of horror, which is something we'll come back to in a few minutes. Now, this is where I think things start to get really exciting. The book includes a bestiary that has about 24 new creatures and includes a magic appendix, which sounds like a useless part of a wizard's body, but it includes a magic appendix that has meta magic items as well as Duergar magic, which is something we haven't seen before, really. It includes the typical map, a poster-sized map with the Phandalin region on one side and the town and some key locations on the other. And the thing that I think is really cool about this adventure is it goes from Phandalin to the mine just like the original LMOP quests, but then it takes us into the Underdark. And I know how much we all love the Underdark. Another reason I'm excited about this book, look at the freaking alternate cover. I have never seen a D&D book that looks like this. Our friends over at Game Masters said it looked like a Mountain Dew induced nightmare, and that was not a criticism. This cover just looks amazing. Like I said, it doesn't look like any D&D book I've seen before, and it really digs into that old school classic kind of B-grade horror vibe that the adventure seems to be going for. It's got all the slimy tendrils and all the Easter eggs buried in there of different creatures that you can see, like the Mind Flayer down in the bottom corner, and lots of other little details like that in there, and the fonts and everything. It just looks really cool, and it looks like something very different for D&D. I'd like to know what you guys think of that alternate cover. Let me know in the comments. Another one of the things that has gotten me really excited about this book is the weird freaking monsters. Like I said, there's about 24 new monsters included in Phandelver and Below. Things like a cloaker mutate that is the old school cloaker, but with like a dwarf skeleton hanging off its face. It's bizarre. Then of course there's the Oculorb, which is basically a big blob of eyeballs. Oh guys, excuse me, I just threw up in my mouth a little bit. Then there's the Encephalon, which is a group of alien egg sacs that kind of looks like a big brain, and it spits out these little triangular things called gemmules that are also creatures. It's pretty gross. Then there's the Flesh Meld. That's a group of snake-like monsters that have just melded together. Then one of my personal favorites, there's Daisy the Odd Cow. Daisy is a dairy cow that has tentacles growing out of her back insides. And then another favorite, Psionic Goblins. Yes, goblins with psionic abilities that use magic. They get their green glowing eyes. Those guys look kind of cool. Adventurers, I'd like to know which monster you're looking forward to in Phandelver and below. Let me know in the comments. And while you're at it, hit the like button if you're getting something out of this video, and please subscribe to the channel so you can keep up with what's coming next. And I'm going to drop an Amazon affiliate link into the description so that you can pre-order a copy of Phandelver and below, and I get a little kickback from that, but it doesn't cost you anything. It's just a way that you can support this channel. And then another thing you can do really quickly to support Short Rest Studios, I have some opportunities coming up, and it would really help me out if you would head over to my Buy Me a Coffee link, which is going to be in a pinned comment on this video, and just even $1, man, really helps out and will help me pursue some of these opportunities. I really appreciate it. Now let's get back into what I'm excited about in Phandelver and below. I'm just gonna say it one more time, Psionic Goblins. They're freaking cool. I don't know, I'm just really excited about the Psionic Goblins. And possibly the reason that I am most excited about this book is that this is D&D digging into Lovecraftian cosmic horror. There are a lot of other games that scratch that itch. I personally am a big fan of Arkham Horror, the card game. There's Call of Cthulhu, the RPG. There's a ton of Arkham Lovecraft horror games out there. But I think it's really neat to see it tied into the epic fantasy of D&D, the Forgotten Realms, that classic Lost Mine of Phandelver adventure. I'm not typically that into horror. I mean, I like some, but this really excites me. I think it's that Lovecraft's brand of horror has a deep and detailed mythos with all these crazy connections, and so I have kind of gotten into that, and I'm excited to see that played out in this way in D&D, the way that it sounds like it's going to be. I'm reserving judgment for the final book, but we're talking about aliens, tentacles, that constant threat of doom that lurks below. I mean, what's not to get excited about? I mean, look, some folks from WotC even called that color on the alternate cover.
We are calling it Reanimator Green.
Adventurers, that is why I am bursting at the seams with excitement over this book. I have not been this excited about a D&D book in a long time. I'd love to know why you're excited about it or why you're not. Let me know in the comments. And while you're there, hit the like button, subscribe so you can keep up with what's going on Short Rest Studios. Check out the links in the description and the pinned comment, and be sure to check out these videos about Dungeons and Dragons. And I will see you next time on Short Rest Studios.